All right, David here at Beat Holiday. Marta has requested the story that I have formerly only told in person. You had to come into the shop to hear this story. And it is the story of the gold-edged vintage beads from Sigfreid in Germany. And you see see how shiny they are. They're hand cut. This particular bead is hand cut on 3 sides. And I say hand cut, but I'll go into that in a minute, what that means. And then here's one that actually, with the silver color, that's platinum edge. And look at that beautiful, beautiful color. So Sigfreid, we met him in Germany, in Bavaria. And we saw these beads. It was me and my brother, Tomas. And we were just like, wow, we want these beads. We want to buy everything. And he was in his late 80s, and he said, no, I'm not ready to retire. And just the nicest guy. And we would sit there, with him at the base of the Alps and drink coffee and talk. And he would sell us an amount about the size of a loaf of bread, 2 or 3 kilos. And we just kept impressing upon him that when he was ready to retire, that we wanted to be the ones to buy it, not have an option or any of that nonsense, really, just buy everything. And he had those shelves, those old German wooden shelves that go up 10, 12 feet, just with those old, amazing German cardboard boxes. And, every year we'd go back, we'd drink coffee, we'd visit with him. And as he had emptied out his factory, he was buying old barn find motorcycles with sidecars, German, Italian, French, an Indian. I mean, he had really cool, just such a smart guy, because then all those things were gaining value as he was, letting time tick by. So in his early 90s, we were contacted, and he said, yep, I'm ready to sell the whole factory. So we came and we bought every single thing we could find of his, even including what he had left of his glass sticks, the German glass. We used to have 4,000 or 5,000 pounds of German glass out in the shed that I'll figure out what to do with it one of these days. So these are all cut. And the method that he would use is he would use a large, about a 14-inch round masonite circle in disc. And then he would put wax on it the same way we facet a gemstone. He would put hot wax and then put all the beads in the wax, and that would hold the beads. Then he could flip it over and putting it on a grinding wheel. And then he could polish that same thing. So he would gold plate them first. And according to him, and Germans don't really lie about their accomplishments. He was the one that invented how to plate the 24 karat gold on the glass. Really just fascinating guy. So he hand cut all these. And there was a few, he sold them over the years. So there was a few distributors here and there in America that had, like 1,000 pieces or something. And this is, really the tip of the iceberg. There's more, the secret stash down under there that we get out for certain select folks like you, Marta. And then here they are without the gold coating, just hand cut. And, with designs. And we have seen the Czechs, the Chinese, all kinds of people try to copy this bead. And they just don't nail it. They don't quite get it. And it's so obvious. So, designers love this bead because it's just not a cheap commodity that anybody could get and copy your design. It's a very, very unique bead. And just, I got to give credit. That's Mom right there. That was my mother, World War II truck driver, United States Army. And she's also the spokesperson for Betsy Beater, which is up on the wall there. I'll get a better shot for you here in a minute. Oh, here it is, right here, Betsy Beater. And that's right from that exact photo, you can tell. It's just been flipped around. She was driving a deuce and a half, and that was an experimental vehicle in World War II. So here we are selling the finest German glass vintage beads, in my opinion, on the planet. And that's one kind there, the gold edged. We call them the gold edged, and we don't put them on sale for obvious reasons. We'll never replace them. But then just to show you too, all this is German vintage all this is German vintage. And, you know, the colors, these just old colors with the white on the inside. And we have vintage glass buttons. And I have 6 plan drawers, these guys, full of German glass buttons out front. The pearls are German vintage. And then here, all this is German vintage. And we have handmade. So this is not pressed beads. You see how tiny these guys are? Those are all made, not exactly handmade, but in a lampwork style on a machine that we bought a different guy's factory, Willie Williamson. And we bought the machines and everything. They're next door. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get them out or use them, but I couldn't see them go to the scrapyard. So we've got a ton of unusual vintage because most people have pressed glass vintage. And then, of course, we have glass known as satin glass that has some just amazing effects. You know, just a ton of good stuff. So come visit Bead Holiday. And of course, we have the Bead Museum, the Tucson Bead Museum, where we also have some great German stuff going as far back as the 1920s. Some of the King Tut stuff, Asian influence, Buddhist stuff. You know, some of the tools, the presses, the big glass rods to show you the process. So this is David from Bead Holiday. And there's the story of some of the German vintage beads found right here in Tucson, Arizona at Bead Holiday. Peace.